Hello everyone, in today's video we will be talking about the chapter number 2, Contemporary Centers of Power, the very first topic, that is European Union. So, we know the time period of World War II, which was basically from the year 1939 to 1945. And in the World War II, it was a fight or the competition between two teams, the Allied powers and the Axis powers. The Allied powers consisted of UK, US, Soviet Union, China and France, whereas the Axis power consisted of Germany, Italy and Japan. Now because of the World War II, the Europe's economy got ruined and it declined. There was the destruction of the economy of Europe, and the entire Europe got divided into two parts, the Western Europe and the Eastern Europe. Now the Western Europe was under the control of USA and the Eastern Europe was under the control of USSR. So Western Europe will automatically follow capitalism and the Eastern Europe will follow socialism. This is the basic knowledge you should have before starting and getting up onto the topic of the World War. So now, direct question comes from this point, that is, what was the Marshall Plan? So basically, after the World War II, the European integration after 1945, it was aided by the Cold War. So you know what is the Cold War? The ideological dispute between USA and USSR, between the two ideologies of capitalism versus socialism. So this European integration, it happened because of the 1945, after the 1945 Cold War. So what happens here, that there was the US president at that time was Harry Truman, and Harry Truman's advisor was George Marshall. Now because of being the advisor of the president, George Marshall suggests him for a plan that came to be known as Marshall Plan, so that they could have their influence all over the world. So what happens in that? According to that, America, it extends massive financial help for reviving Europe's economy under what was called the Marshall Plan. So under the Marshall Plan, basically what is happening, America is giving financial aid, financial support to the European countries so that they can revive their economy, so that they can balance and bring back their economy. So it is supporting in terms of financially, right? Financially it's supporting. America is financially supporting Europe under the Marshall Plan. Now what happens here, you also need to remember that US also created a new collective security structure. New collective security structure under NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So now I hope you're clear about the Marshall Plan, which is basically the European integration after 1945 was aided by the Cold War. So America extended massive financial help for reviving Europe's economy under what was called the Marshall Plan, and you need to remember the year as well, 1947. So now under the Marshall Plan, in the year 1948, an organization was formed that is called OEEC, Organization for European Economic Cooperation. So in the year 1948, Organization for European Economic Cooperation was established, and the reason for the establishment is to channel aid to the West European states. So we had already studied that the Europe was divided into two parts, Western Europe and Eastern Europe. So OEEC was established to help these West European states. Clear? This was under the Marshall Plan because this western part was under America. So that is the reason. Now in the year 1947 we had Marshall Plan. In the year 1948 we have the OEEC, Organization for European Economic Cooperation. It was established to channel aid to the West European states, and it becomes a forum as well where the Western European countries, they began to cooperate on the trade and economic issues. So they used to discuss about these trade and economic related matters. So 1947 was Marshall Plan, 1948 was Organization for European Economic Cooperation. And you know what is Marshall Plan by now. In the year 1949, Council of Europe was established, COE, in the year 1949, and it was just a step forward in political cooperation. to cooperate politically. This was more in terms of economic, right? Economic. Here it was political. In the year 1951, we have the ECSC, which was established, European Coal and Steel Community. From here we are basically studying the timeline of the formation of the EU, right? So now in the year 1951, ECSC, European Coal and Steel Community, is established. Here six Western European, they signed the Treaty of Paris and they formed the European Coal and Steel Community. Then in the year 1957, again very important, because here the European Economic Community is formed, which is later on renamed to EC. EC, that is basically the European Community. Later on it is renamed in 1957, the year you need to remember, and this is established or formed by signing the Treaties of Rome. Also in this year, Euratom is also established, European Atomic Energy Community. So 1947 Marshall Plan, 1948 OEEC, 1945 Council of Europe, 1951 ECSC, 1957 Euratom, and EEC. EEC by signing the Treaties of Rome, and ECSC by signing the Treaty of Paris. Here you also need to consolidate the information which you are gathering. Okay. Then we move on to the year 1973. Now in the year 1973, three countries, Denmark, Ireland and UK, they joined the European Economic Community in the year 1973. Then in the year 1979, there was the first direct elections to European Parliament. Okay. So this also becomes your important, because here in the year 1979, first direct elections to European Parliament was there. Then in the year 1981, Greece joins the EEC in the year 1981. In the year 1985, which becomes your important year, because here the Schengen Agreement was signed. This agreement abolished the border controls among the EEC members. Okay, so it abolishes border controls among the EEC member. In the year 1985, your Schengen Agreement was signed. Again, your 1992 year becomes important, because here the Treaty of Maastricht establishes the EU. European Union is established by signing the Treaty of Maastricht. Okay. Then in the year 1993, EEC is renamed as EC, which is the European Community. I hope it is clear to all of you till now. Let's just quickly revise. So in the year 1947, was your Marshall Plan. In the year 1948 was your OEEC, Organization for European Economic Cooperation. Then in the year 1949 was your Council of Europe. In the year 1951 was your ECSC, wherein this is European Coal and Steel Community, wherein the six Western European signed the Treaty of Paris. Then in the year 1957, two things happened. Euratom, which is European Atomic Energy Community, and EEC is established by signing the Treaties of Rome. Then in the year 1973, Denmark, Ireland and UK join your EEC. Then in the year 1979, first direct elections happens to the European Parliament. In 1981, Greece joins EEC. In the year 1985, the Schengen Agreement was signed, which abolishes the border controls among the EEC members. It is important, this is important, this is also important, these three are also important. Then in the year 1992, by signing the Treaty of Maastricht, EU is established. In the year 1993, EEC is renamed, European Economic Community is renamed as EC, European Community. Because here it's not just economic, but we are dealing with multiple aspects, right? That is the reason it was renamed. So I hope it is clear to all of you till here. Direct questions come from 1947, 1948, 49, 57, 1991, 1992, 3, 85, when the Schengen Agreement was signed, and the Treaty of Maastricht is also very important. Next, we move on to the year 2002. In the year 2002, Euro, which was a new currency, it was introduced and it was accepted by 12 EU members at that point of time. Then in the year 2004, 10 members joined the EU. In the year 2007, Bulgaria, Romania joined EU, and Slovenia, it adopts the euro, which is the currency. In the year 2009, the Lisbon Treaty came into force and it was signed in 2007, but into force its implementation was there in the year 2009. In the year 2012, EU was awarded the Nobel Prize. In the year 2013, Croatia becomes the 28th member of EU, and in the year 2016, which is basically the Britain's exit from the EU. Also, in the comment section, you have to tell me what was the role of the Lisbon Treaty. And this is just to remind you that this video serves as a one-shot revision of the entire topic, in which we have just skimmed through the entire content written in your NCERT about the EU and the timeline of the EU. In the next video, we'll cover a second part of this topic, wherein we'll be studying about the object and influence of the EU. Here in this video, we have just gone through the topic so that we're able to revise and refresh all the things we have learned before an exam. Thank you.